managers of Bojo Beach have called for a review of the deployment of police personnel at the entrance of event centers and beachfronts. Speaking to Maxwell Agbagba, manager for Bojo Beach, Blessing Alan Muzenda, stated that managers like themselves and event centers like Bojo Beach are losing out big time from these restrictions.
Truly speaking, this has impacted negatively on the business quite much. Right. Our first take on the basis of tax paying, we pay tax, okay? And all the revenue streams we have, there's always a government contribution to that. So with all this, we have lost revenue, we have lost customers, and as well, the government on its own, they have lost even tax, right? If they had allowed us to open, right? Enforcing strict COVID protocols, right? Whereby we do social distancing, we had planned to give free masks, we had specific numbers of people who could come through, that we should not overlap the number that we deemed necessary or that we deemed good to curb COVID spread. So with that, our business has been drawn down so much. Number two, we have a socio-economic responsibility, whereby we have employees whom we employed, quite a large number of employees, right? Now it's quiet. There is nothing. All those employees for the next coming period, they'll be redundant. It's drastic, and considering that most of the clients, customers have been turned away. If it was well communicated, okay, the beach we've closed. We got no problem with that. We closed the beach according to the government regulation, okay? But they should allow us only to open the mainland. There's a restaurant right here, okay? The hotel as well. There's a restaurant over there. Even if people don't come for accommodation, but the restaurant itself, the mainland itself, the beach we've closed. We didn't deny that. We did. So there should be probably prior assessment as to, as we close, which other things which might remain open and all that. But as we stand, right now the police by the main gate, they are shunning everybody away. There is nobody coming in, so there's no business we can be doing. I believe that we are able to contain that, all right? With the assistance of the military or the police and all that, right? If we were to bring in people, we set specific figures or specific numbers and rules and regulations by which, if people want to enjoy the beach, right? There's certain distance they should keep on and all that. They should encroach in some other space and all that. Everybody to put on a mask, all these kind of things. And there should be prior assessment if the facility has space enough to contain quite a large number of people. Look at our beach. It spans from that end to that end as compared to other beaches. We have space over here, all being not used, okay? We have space by the water. It's all vast, right? So as of Bojo Beach, I understand that we should be an exception, kind of, because we have all the space. Whatever we want to implement in terms of social distancing and all that, we are able to do that. We can do that. We don't have any.
Well, I want to bring in Theresa Ayowada. She is the CEO of Charter House, and she joins us via Zoom on this development. Theresa, we're so grateful that you joined us via Business Live. Well, with active new COVID cases dropping, of course, to reach 63 and deployment of vaccines, what do you think the impact of the review of these restrictions could have when it comes to your sector?
Well, I've just heard, the pitiful story of the beach operators that you just interviewed. And those of us in the events industry are also suffering the same fate, where our businesses have had to shut down due to the restrictions that were announced. And unfortunately, when the restrictions were announced, they did not come with a timeline. So as a business, we are not even able to plan. And secondly, they did not come with any offer of economic stimulus package to cushion the companies that were affected. And we feel that and that doesn't make us too happy, because it makes us feel as if we are not actually regarded as an industry. And our economic value to the country has not even been considered. And the fact that we employ so many people who have all had to stay at home without any employment over the past 3 months. So we are actually in a very sorry state as an industry. And we are just hoping that as the cases reduce, that there will be some further announcements on the easing of restrictions and probably more emphasis being placed on ensuring compliance to the COVID protocols during events.
And of course, we rightly did hear the manager of Bojo Beach, and he was making the point that even if the police and even military possibly were deployed to these centers, they could have helped in ensuring that compliance to COVID-19 protocol was adhered to, rather than driving everyone away. But in your space as events and, that of various categories of entertainment, what do you think was the underlining factor to all these introductions by government? Do you think it could have been done in a much more progressive way?
I believe, definitely so. I believe that we should have had an opportunity to dialogue. I mean, at least through our ministry, our sector ministry, the Ministry for Tourism, Arts and Culture, and the Ghana Tourism.
I'm afraid
we have worked with in the past.
All right.
To set up protocols. We had actually worked with them to lay out guidelines that we had all agreed to follow. So we believe that, but
I'm afraid we're having issues with the lines there. If she could reconnect, we should be grateful. Theresa, I think we lost you somewhere, but you're back. But help us understand the prospects for the event industry, entertainment industry amid COVID, because now we're having vaccines and there is optimism that this could ease restrictions in the coming months, if not a year or so. So what holds for the prospects of your industry?
Well, definitely the rollout of the vaccines is a good thing, which we are hoping to will speed up the pace at which things return to normalcy. So we would like to encourage everybody who qualifies for the vaccines right now to really go out and get them. And so we are really hoping that that would help to curb the spread of the disease. The restrictions that were imposed were necessary at the time. But what we are angst is the fact that they did not come with any support for the industry that was being affected directly. Because we do agree that the cases have gone down when the gatherings were restricted. So there was a need for that at the time. But it should have come hand in hand with an economic stimulus package for the industry to keep us afloat. And that is what we haven't been happy about. With the vaccines, the vaccine program ongoing, we believe that things should pick up soon. We are still yet to dialogue with government to understand exactly how they intend to ease the restrictions and again, pushing the industry.
All right, but finally, before I let you go, these are desperate moments. We've heard from clearly, unsatisfied persons within the industry, your space. What advice can you give in terms of, how best they could stay afloat amidst the pandemic? What kind of advice can you give to members out there?
Well, just as we did last year, we had to come up with coping strategies. Some of the things we had to do was to do furloughs. We had to temporarily lay off staff, and we had to really shrink our operations. So I believe that most of them have gone into survival mode and are doing these things. But it still does not deny the fact that there has been a huge loss of income to the industry and the companies that operate in the industry. And something needs to be done about that, because the whole other parts of the country, other parts of the economy, other sectors of the economy are operating fully. So the sector of the economy that has been affected should be given some attention by government. And that is our angst right now. That is our ask right now.
Theresa, we're grateful for
that. Whatever it takes for the country to ease itself back into full operations, we are happy to cooperate, but the economic consideration should also be made.
Theresa, we're grateful that you joined us. She's CEO of Charterhouse. They're helping us understand the prospects for the industry amid COVID-19 restrictions, specifically positioning on Easter.